Long dream from Mark Jackson. He would be playing for his hometown team, the New York Knicks. That dream continued throughout his rookie season. After just 2 games, he was starting at the point, running the show for Rick Pitino, a coach who developed a special relationship with Jackson. After helping the Knicks to a playoff berth, Jackson's season was capped off by being named the NBA's Rookie of the Year. Mark proceeded to reach all-star status the following season, but then the dream began to disintegrate into a nightmare. His level of play decreased, as did his popularity. Fans tired of his showboating antics, while coaches Stu Jackson and later John McLeod became irritated by what they perceived to be an attitude problem. Last season, however, Mark Jackson recaptured his game, and with it, his reputation. But the Knicks decided to trade him. Jackson now performs in Hollywood instead of on Broadway. And tonight, for the first time, he'll show off his new act to his old supporting cast.
Does this remind you of your rookie year?
Well, it really does, because I have the opportunity to play, 40-plus minutes a night. I have the opportunity to run this basketball team, to be in there when the game is on the line. And it's a lot of fun. I have a good quality people as my teammates, a great coach. I miss New York. I miss the fans. I'd like to send a warm welcome to the fans and the people of New York that have supported me throughout the course of the years. But this is a great opportunity.
So it will be Mark Jackson, Kiki Vandeweghe of the L.A. Clippers now going up against former Clippers Charles Smith and Doc Rivers. The Knicks and the Clippers meeting for the first of 2 times this season. We'll be right back. D. Mitch Davis with a very fine rendition. And we're set for the introduction of the Hertz starting lineups, a Clipper starting lineup that will include the former Knick, Kiki Vandeweghe, making his first start of the season. I think Larry Brown is sentimental, John.
Very sensitive guy, Marv. You know that.
Yes. So Kiki will be in the starting lineup up front with Danny Manning. The officials, Jake O'Donnell, Lee Jones, and Ken Bauer. The New York Knicks and the Los Angeles Clippers getting set to go at each other. They'll meet again in New York on the 2nd of January. Last season, Pat Riley and the Knicks swept the Clippers 2-0, winning here in late January, winning at the Garden in early March. And now let's join with the public address.
For the Knicks, starting at guard in his 4th year out of Oklahoma State, number 3, John Starks. At the other guard in his 10th season from Marquette, number 25, Doc Rivers. At center in his 8th season from Georgetown, number 33, Patrick Ewing. At forward in his 9th season from Ohio State, number 9, Tony Campbell. And at forward in his 8th year from Virginia Union, number 34, Charles Oakley. The Knicks trainers are Mike Saunders and Tim Walsh. Assistant coaches Dick Harder and Jeff Van Gundy. And the head coach of the New York Knicks is Pat Riley. Now on the Clippers side, let's meet tonight's AM/PM mini market ball boy. He's 12 years old, Kodar Baba from Newton Junior High School. Now introducing the starting lineup for your Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers starting at guard in his 7th year from Miami of Ohio, number 4, Ron Harper. In his 6th season from St. John's at guard, number 13, Mark Jackson. At center in his 2nd season from LSU, number 53, Stanley Roberts. Starting at forward in his 13th year from UCLA, number 55, Kiki Vandeweghe. And at forward is 5, Danny Manning. The Clippers trainer, Keith Jones, the assistant coaches, R.C. Buford, John Hammond, and Quinn Snyder. And the head coach of the Los Angeles Clippers is Larry Brown.
Yes, it has been a long time between victories for the Knicks against the Clippers. And as we mentioned, Larry Brown inserting Kiki Vandeweghe in the starting lineup, making his first start of the season. He's averaging just under 15 per game, and he's been on fire, shooting at 58% from the field. Earlier, John talked with Kiki and asked what's the major difference between this season.
They play more of a passing game type style here and a little bit more fast break type style, which really helps me. I think when I can move without the ball, it helps me get open and get easier shots.
Like days at Denver?
A little bit like days of Denver. I don't know about that, but you know, Coach Brown, I played for him at UCLA, and I think he's really one of the finest coaches around, and he's given me a lot of confidence.
Well, Kiki Vandeweghe coming off the Tuesday night overtime victory against Detroit here at the Sports Arena. Played 25 minutes, 4 of 6 from the field, 12 points, and hit 2 of 3 from downtown.
Marv, he's also doing some rebounding, and he's playing defense. Had a couple of steals in that game as well. Kiki, though, is the same all the time, in good times and in bad. He's got a great professional attitude.
It will be Stanley Roberts and Patrick Ewing going on the opening tip. Stanley Roberts has had his ups and downs since becoming a Clipper, bothered by a sore left knee. And Manning deflects it out. So it will be Nick Ball. We may see more of Rolando Blackman tonight off the performance, showing some good signs the other night against Seattle. But Pat Riley starting with Rivers and Starks in the backcourt. Oakley, Campbell, and Ewing up front. Here is Oakley. Air ball handled by Ewing. And it's Vandeweghe hauling down the rebound.
Patrick went up in an awkward position for him. Low percentage shot.
Notice Charles Oakley shooting the first opportunity. The Knicks want to get Oakley into the offense, something you were discussing the first 2 games of the trip. Starks not able to hit, but he drew the foul.
Marv, the combination of Campbell and Oakley has been producing under 15 points a game here opening the season, and there's no way the team can do well with forwards contributing at that level. They've got to get more points out of the forward position.
Foul was called on Harper.
You can see the 2 games on the road trip, the points and rebounding of the forward position. Those are very low numbers. Charles is getting his rebounds, although he's not breaking any records. But the productivity from the forward position's got to get higher.
And the introductions, I would have to say, mixed reaction to Doc Rivers, and when Rivers and Charles Smith took the floor for the early warm-ups, because Rivers here only 1 year. Roberts with a bad shot. Oakley with the save. And Ewing able to save that pass.
I would think, Marv, that Patrick Ewing is drooling at the sight of Roberts as he commits an infraction, trying to dribble that ball a little too much. Roberts, despite all the hoopla about him and the trade that took place, is playing 15 minutes a game. That's not much. He's still overweight, and the question is he ever going to grow into a big-time player?
The Knicks 2 and the Clippers nothing. We're just underway. Manning shoveling for Roberts, and he blew the stuff. In their first 7 games this season, the Knicks have failed to reach 100 points 5 times. Strong move by Rivers, could not finish it off, and it was last touched by Oakley. The Knicks are averaging only 96 points per game. That's the second lowest scoring average behind Detroit. Only Anthony Mason shooting 50% from the field. Manning, and he's tied the game at 2. That'll give you an idea of how things have gone offensively for the Knicks. Ewing now played by Manning, and he's fouled.
Well, Mark Jackson read that very clearly. If anyone knows Patrick Ewing's moves other than Patrick Ewing, it's Mark Jackson. See Mark come over. He's waiting for him to spin, and he was right on target. So Patrick had better be aware of the man most familiar with his game as his adversary tonight.
Jackson making contact, call for the foul. Look out, Harper went down. Stay right here, though, says Jake O'Donnell, the outside official, looking to call it the other way. And Jake will discuss it with Ken Bauer.
Any questions? Jake O'Donnell giving the Knicks the call in their favor.
Seniority taking over right there. Vandaway with the give and go, stolen by Campbell. Oakley gives it back. Rivers went behind the back for Starks. The Knicks 4 and the Clippers 2. Roberts' pass picked off by Oakley. Here's Starks putting the move on Roberts and rejected, but he drew the foul. Starks trying to protect the ball, but he knew that he would draw the foul.
Why not go under the big man? Try and shoot the ball over Roberts is a low percentage deal.
So Starks to the line. You see his shooting 38% from the field. Pat Riley said that John Starks is getting the good looks at the basket, just not knocking them down. He has had excellent opportunities.
Pat Riley, commenting on John's play, has indicated of late that he's ideally suited to come off the bench. He loves his play, but he just thinks he's miscast right now in this starting role.
The Knicks with a 6-2 lead. Here's Harper. Oh, nice move. Ron Harper slashing to the hoop. He's a guy who's made it back from reconstructive knee surgery. A lot of questions about his driving. Meanwhile, a three-pointer hit by Starks. Well, they say two-point range. All right, 8-4. The Knicks with the lead. And John Starks has accounted for all 8 points.
Oh, he and Mark Jackson yapping at each other now as they came down over half court.
Oakley called for the foul. Jackson played by Rivers. Manning guarded by Oakley. And Manning able to work his way inside.
I believe in that last shot by Starks, he shot it over Mark Jackson, so there was a lot of chatter after that.
And Oakley's pass went astray.
A major problem for the Knicks is their 18 turnovers a game average.
Oakley appeared to be upset, though, with Starks. He thought he was moving to his left. Danny Manning with 6 of the Clippers' 8 points, and the game is tied at 8.
Charles Oakley will have no relaxed period playing Manning, who will hurt you from anywhere on the court.
Anthony Mason getting set to come on. Jackson dribbling out of the pack and able to save it to Harper. Here's Vandaway. He had the mismatch with Campbell. Clippers lead 10-8.
And yet, Marv, it shouldn't be a mismatch. There's only 1 inch in height difference between the two.
That is, if you believe Campbell is, what, 6'8"?
7.
Game is tied at 10. Doc Rivers with his first bucket. Here's Manning. Starks on the run with Jackson back. The Knicks take a 12-10 lead. So John Starks with 10 of the Knicks' 12 points. Pick and roll with Manning, met by Ewing. Went to the left hand. Clippers get back. Campbell. Knicks by 4. Ball movement here in the early going by the Knicks.
You know, Marv, I wonder if Stanley Roberts can play at the pace that this team, the Clippers, want to play at. He looks like he's dragging already.
Timeout called. 6:54 remaining in the first quarter. It's the Sonics. Knicks not hitting their free throws. But the opponents have certainly been going to the line more frequently.
Yes, in the 2 games against Portland and Seattle, Knicks have had 15 more fouls called against them.
And here in the early going, as Manning pops one, rebounded by Ewing. Knicks have certainly not had any complaints about the calls, in particular with the one down low in which Jake O'Donnell overruled the outside official Ken Maurer. He starts, rebounded by Manning. Here's Hoffer on the run. Mason is back. Hoffer over Mason. Anthony Mason checking in following the timeout. He replaced Charles Oakley. The Knicks now lead it 14-12.
Hoffer's a package to handle when he gets in the open court. You can't give him any room.
Mason doing it against Norman. Manning with the rebound. Here comes Jackson behind the back. John Williams, who just checked it, feeds off to Hoffer. That was a 3-point attempt. So John Williams on the floor for the first time. He replaced Kiki Vandeweghe, made his first start of the season. They double up on Ewing. Knicks have not been handling the double team well. That has been one of their problems on this road trip. Good play by Williams on a steal, and then he saved it. Jackson kept alive by Manning. Good back tap from Ewing.
Clippers played the Knicks perfectly last time down court. They rotated well on defense after the initial double team on Ewing.
Campbell, yes. Tony Campbell, who has not shot well, has given the Knicks a 16-12 lead. Campbell with 4 points. How about John Williams, who was a star at Crenshaw High School here in Los Angeles? The accomplishment is that he is back playing. That's Williams. John Williams blowing up in terms of weight, that is.
Mason putting on a show getting that ball up court.
And a traveling violation is called. Here's Rolando Blackman for John Starks.
Watch the ball handling of Anthony Mason now when he runs into trouble. Prior to that, he did some fancy spinning to get to that position.
Loy Vaught has come on for the first time. He has been the center of much trade speculation. Vaught with the ball being guarded by Mason. So Vaught, a rotund John Williams up front, along with Kenny Norman.
Vaught is a very active body around the boards. Mason will have to be careful, keep his eye on him.
Hoffer getting it down to Jackson. Jackson with a spin, lost his balance, but able to save it. And Vaught brings the Clippers within 2. Getting back to the point about John Williams, the accomplishment is that he's back playing basketball after ballooning, going through the heated controversy with the Washington Bullets. Did not appear as if he was interested in getting back into the game.
Yes, and it was a shame. He lost a lot of time and a lot of money because of his inability to keep himself disciplined physically, and he's still a long way away from it.
Rolando Blackman throwing that air ball on his first attempt. Norman ties the game at 16.
The Knicks are not putting pressure on the jump shooters. They're so aware of double teaming the ball, and the Clippers are finding open men who are shooting without pressure on them.
3.5 remaining in this first quarter. Marv Albert with John Andres from the Sports Arena in Los Angeles. Ford comes over on a double team. Mason is open. Yes, Anthony Mason able to convert. 18-16, the Knicks with the lead. The Clippers with a record of 3-4. They beat the Pistons as Hoffer has tied it in at 18. Clippers beat Detroit 115-106 in overtime on Tuesday, their second overtime game of the season. One-time Clipper Olden Polynice now with Detroit had a career high of 19 rebounds. Clippers shot only 44%, but they won. Ewing with the open shot. Ewing from Blackman, and the Knicks now lead 20-18. Patrick Ewing with his first field goal.
Patrick guarding John Williams now. Patrick went after that Jackson shot attempt.
Well, he told Mark that he'd get at least one tonight. But Cincinnati would match his season total. Mason. It has not been a good shot blocking start for Patrick Ewing. Now, Pat Riley has mentioned that circumstance has something to do with that, but when you go this deep into the season, game number 8, and show only 1 block, I think it's a little more than that.
Patrick has ample opportunity now with guarding John Williams. He can, I would think, play a little loose on Williams and help out his teammates.
Under 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Williams with the fake. And last touch by Williams. Minute 50 to go in this opening quarter. Timeout has been taken.
Well, we're almost there. Yeah, 3 years of digging and digging, but soon, our first taste of freedom.
Shot clock still alive, and now the Clippers on a steal. Hopper will seize the opening, and he's hammered. So Hopper will go to the line, fouled by Blackman.
With Charles Smith in the lineup now and Patrick Ewing out, it will give Charles a chance to be the number 5 man, the big man for the Knicks on offense, and be the focal point of the offense. He doesn't have to dance around Patrick Ewing when he and Patrick are on the floor together to find out where he fits. He can take over. But he's got to announce to his teammates physically or verbally that he wants that basketball. And you'd think he'd want to do something special. Story in the LA Times today about Charles returning. He's back in the middle, and he himself said this game will be different. So let's see what kind of emotion Charles Smith can bring to the arena.
John Williams sitting down. Danny Manning is back. The Knicks 22. Clippers 20. Some pressure from Grant. And then he drops back. Anthony spinning Grant. Mason getting inside. Knicks 24 and the Clippers 20.
Mason petitioning the official for a foul.
Anthony knocked it away. Anthony setting up Mason. And a good play by Greg Anthony.
Oh, you said it, Marv. You love a guy who's unselfish like Greg Anthony was on that play.
And Greg Anthony trying to show that he's unselfish because the statements have been made that he does look for the shot too frequently. That would have been an easy layup for Greg, but he wisely dished it off. Manning battling for the rebound. Manning's had a strong first quarter, 8 points. Manning leads the Clippers, averaging 22 per game.
Should never happen. He did it behind the Knicks defenders. Behind him, he reached over Smith.
All right, Grant, followed by Blackman. Pulls the speed on. Well, the acceleration by Gary Grant cuts it to a 2-point Knicks lead, and the Knicks will hold for 1 shot. Down to 15 seconds remaining in the quarter. The double team producing the steal and a foul. Anthony called for the foul. Good double up, though, by the Clippers to come up with the theft. And with 11 seconds remaining in this first quarter, Knicks over the foul limit. So Grant to the line.
Gary Grant, in many ways, a forgotten man here with the Clippers after owning the point guard role for a long time, or while he's been here. There has been a lack of respect for his game the last couple of years. He has slid down the list of highly thought of guards in the NBA.
He has been so erratic, and it has led to Gary Grant constantly being on the trade block. He was a starter a good portion of last season, but lost the job to Doc Rivers after 1 game in the first round of the playoffs. Tied at 26 as this first quarter winds down. Anthony going all the way. After 1 here at the Sports Arena in Los Angeles, California. The Knicks and the Clippers are tied at 26.
Becoming what arguably could be considered the biggest impact player the league has seen in many, many years. No offense to David Robinson, but we haven't seen a big guy with these kinds of skills and this kind of ability to change the minds of those trying to paint, really since Kareem. Well, tonight they played a team still seeking Mr. Big, Golden State, and right here, Dennis Scott drives and deals off to the Shaq for the finger roll he's hacked in the act. Now, Nick Anderson finds the Shaq running the lane, unchecked. Get out of the way. Magic up by 5. Shaq did it all. Watch him go for the loose ball here. The crowd responded with a standing ovation. He's just giving it all up. $40 million, and they're getting their money's worth here. Now, Jed Bushler tied up by 3 Magic men, so O'Neal picks up the loose ball and then thumps it. He had 25 points. Gukas, man, he's just beside himself. Shaq says, just wait, it'll get better, believe me. 29 points and 16 rebounds for him.
13 boards in Orlando's home win over Golden State tonight. Magic 5-2. They lead the Atlantic Division.
Thank you, Bob. And it will be the Orlando Magic now with a record of 5-2 and leading the Atlantic Division, playing the Knicks at the Garden on Saturday night. The Knicks and the Magic. Shaquille O'Neal with his Madison Square Garden debut. There you see the Magic 5-2. Full game in front of the New York Knicks. The Magic knocking off Golden State tonight at home.
Shaquille O'Neal voted the NBA Player of the Week. His first week in the NBA. Quite an auspicious entry into the NBA for Shaquille.
On to the second quarter. And the Knicks and the Clippers are tied at 26. Here's Manning called for a travel. High point men in the game, 8 apiece for Manning and Harper. The Knicks are led by Starks with 10 and Mason with 8. And Anthony Mason has hit his last 4 field goal attempts.
Interesting matchup with Charles Smith and Manning, former teammates here in Los Angeles, and reportedly not in love with each other.
Here's Blackman. Loose ball foul called on the Knicks. Now, Manning was arguing the call, although it was against Smith, who was pushing out on Manning. Manning thought that Jake O'Donnell was about to hit him with the foul. Jaren Jackson out of Georgetown with the ball, hitting Manning. Blackman comes over to double team, and a foul is called. Foul on Blackman. Larry Brown now going with a backcourt of Gary Grant and Jaren Jackson. Jackson, a guy who had an impressive training camp. Spent most of the last 3 years in the CBA at shots with the Nets and Golden State, getting a crack here with the Clippers.
Danny Manning is shooting the ball just about every time he gets his hands on it. And the Clippers are playing very much a one-on-one offense, which means the Knicks defenders have got to dig in and do their jobs as individuals defensively, particularly Charles Smith with Manning.
Clippers by 1. 27-26. Anthony delivering to Smith. Knicks able to keep it alive. Crowd wanted to travel. Here's Mason. Oh, he's on fire. Anthony Mason again. Mason has hit 5 out of 7. He's made his last 5. Knicks lead by 1.
Well, he carries a reputation of not being a good outside shooter, but people who don't see him haven't gotten the news. He's improved.
Manning again. But as you say, he continues to chunk him up. Manning has 11. He's hit 4 out of 9 from the field. Clippers have a 1-point lead. Mason using the outside threat to get the step. Oakley with the putback.
What a wild move by Oakley. Sensational offensive rebound, and he kept the response simple.
The Knicks 30, Clippers 29. 2 minutes gone by in the second quarter. This is Kenny Norman. John Williams. Grant pulling his way, and the foul is called on Anthony. Blocking foul. Mark Jackson and Lloyd Vaughn checking back in for the Clippers.
Mason on a beautiful fake on Williams, goes in, couldn't quite get there to dunk the ball, but Oakley followed it up, scooped it up, and right in.
Nice backcourt. Jackson and Jackson. Mark and Jarrett. And it's Manning. Clippers by 1. I'm glad we're not doing radio tonight, John. You know?
A little help from the viewer, Marv. Meanwhile, Danny Manning is going on a one-man rampage here against the Knicks and Charles Smith. There's something personal there, I would think.
Well, as you mentioned, the filterings from this area concern the fact that they did have some problems while here in Los Angeles.
Reportedly also, Manning is following the Smith line of thinking, and that is, I don't want to be here. He's in the last year of his contract, reportedly an unhappy man.
So Vaughn able to hit. He's been getting more playing time with the departure of Charles Smith. That's opened up additional minutes for Loy Vaughn.
This is the first 2 games with an ankle problem, but he's done some very nice things since that time.
Smith trying to bank it. Here comes Norman. Vaught extends to a 5-point Clipper lead.
See, what Vaught did so well, which is what he's been doing, is he ran to the corner. He beat his defensive man down, and the Knicks' intensity defensively was not ready for him.
Timeout taken by the Knicks.
This bench breakdown shows him leading the Knicks in that department, but the Clippers are getting good contributions from Loy Vaught. Now, Vaught is an active guy, as we mentioned earlier. You'll see him take off. Number 35 will keep running. He'll run ahead. He'll run. Where's the defense on the Knicks? Where is it? Too late. Vaught ran to the position, got the ball, and delivered. He comes off his season high of 18 points against the Pistons in that overtime win in their last game.
Hubert Davis checked back in for the Knicks. Doc Rivers has returned. Nice move by Rivers to beat Jackson and stuff. Doc Rivers, very deceptive, going around Mark Jackson. And the Knicks now trail 35 to 32. Here's Roberts putting a move on Ewing. And it's rebounded by Ewing. Mason getting down against Manning. Nice ball movement. But Ewing not able to finish it off.
I was watching Manning pushing, beating Smith to get in front of him so he wouldn't get the ball.
Manning.
Question is, Marv, will Manning pass the ball?
Yes. And you know, you think back to his college days at Kansas when people are talking about Danny Manning because of his height and his passing skills as another Magic Johnson type play. He's the closest to a guy like Magic that you'd find, but of course he doesn't play that way anymore.
Well, he can do it. He's just on a rampage of scoring tonight. Speaking on that subject, John Hot Plate Williams, also a man 50 pounds ago compared to the man we're looking at in the stands right now.
Yes, there is Magic.
We saw fleetingly there.
Visiting with Pat Riley earlier and in search of buying an NBA franchise.
How much you got, Magic?
The man has made a few appearances on television the last few days.
Fairly well-known guy around America.
Has he missed the show? Kiki Vandeweghe making his return, finding Roberts. Roberts with the follow. Clippers 37 and the Knicks 32. The Knicks with Tony Campbell back in up front with Anthony Mason and Patrick Ewing. Doc Rivers and Hubert Davis in the backcourt, and Rivers goes down and he's hurt.
Of all places for this to happen, one of the reasons the Clippers tuned out on Doc Rivers is because of his injury problem. Unfortunately for him, he gets injured, and he's been fine till this moment.
22nd timeout call. Now Knicks trainer Mike Saunders able to make his way. Yes, Doc Rivers the last few seasons has been hard hit by injury. Earlier in preseason with the Knicks this year, suffered a jammed right thumb. There's the knee from Roberts.
Nice defense, Stanley Roberts. That is schoolyard defense, to go out and stick your knee out like that and call that defense.
Not trying to walk it off, though. And apparently will hang in. He's all right.
Well, Marv, this guy has such pride. You know, if there's any arena in this country that he wants to not have an injury affect him or slow him down, it's going to be here, where he was doubted.
7 minutes remaining first half. Clippers lead 37-32. Patrick Ewing has been off the mark. He's now 1 of 5 from the field. Jackson pushing it down, whipping off to Vandeweghe. Vandeweghe from Jackson. Clippers lead by 7. Well, there's one that will be on the highlight reel. Mason. And knocked out of bounds by the Clippers.
Patrick Ewing should eat up Stanley Roberts in whatever form he chooses. So the Knicks have got to go to him. And Patrick can't content himself with fadeaway jump shots. One move, one step, he should be by Roberts and to the basket. Put pressure on the defense. Take that ball to the hole.
Oakley back, replacing Mason. Hubert Davis showing the beautiful stroke. 5-point Clipper lead. Mason sitting down with 10 points. Hit 5 out of 8 from the field. Oh, my. Oh, that hurts. Even if you're 7 feet, that hurts. It's a charge on Roberts.
Patrick saw the commitment Roberts made to go to the basket, and Ewing read it properly. Familiar sight to Knicks fans over the last couple of years. Mark Jackson to Kiki Vandeweghe. Kiki's been doing that with regularity here.
Stanley Roberts in the starting lineup for the Clippers, but he is a project. Ewing. The Knicks trail by 3, 39-36. You know, Stanley Roberts showed signs at the end of last season. He had some flashes with Orlando. It's amazing how his market value increased. Vandeweghe off a nice pass from Jackson. And the foul is called. It's on Campbell.
The fact of the matter is Stanley Roberts has athletic talent. He can move. Considering his size, he's a fairly mobile man. But what he doesn't have is a winning heart. And he doesn't have the competitive fire that you need to play in this league. And Marv, I'm not, you know, if you were betting on him, you wouldn't bet very much on him being a major factor in this league. He didn't play all summer. That's an example. You know?
From the Clipper point of view, in looking around the league, if there's any position where there is a deficiency, all over the league, it's center. So a guy like Stanley Roberts, who is raw, you know, certainly worth a shot.
I guess so.
So if you're GM, you'd stay away. I would. I agree. I'm not disagreeing with it. I would too. I just
$3 million.
I think he's one of those guys who will will always frustrate coaches.
Yes.
All right, here's Ewing.
Benoit Benjamin part 2, you know.
And Benjamin has much more talent. Jackson behind the back. Manning. Mark Jackson behind the back to Danny Manning. And the Clippers lead 41-36. Starks tried the running hook. Manning got a piece of it. And Ford screaming at the official, Lee Jones. Manning again. 17 for Manning.
Manning is shooting without a hand in his face.
Campbell, strip, and foul. Vandeweghe called for his first. Campbell will go to the line.
Last hoop for the Clippers. Mark Jackson handling the ball behind the back. Danny Manning shooting. The hand getting there much too late. Didn't bother him. He's 6'10", and he shoots from good range. He's got to have a hand in the face, and it better be there fast.
Danny Manning, 8 of 14 from the field, 17 points. An assist for Mark Jackson, his 6th of the night. It's the Clippers 43, the Knicks 38. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Marv Albert, John Andres from the Sports Arena in Los Angeles.
When Mark took the ball at the other end of the court, he started talking to Starks, and they've been doing it ever since.
Manning with the one bounce pass for Vaught. Somehow able to deliver it to Vaught. Backing Manning. Yes. Patrick Ewing with his 3rd field goal. He has 6 points, and the Knicks are within 3.
Knicks cleared out the whole left side, so Patrick could not be bothered with the double team.
Clippers have led by as many as 7. At one point, the Knicks had a 6-point advantage. Mark Jackson does not like the hand checking of John Starks. Vandeweghe. Oh, he wanted that shot. Kiki Vandeweghe drilling the angle jumper.
Once in a while, he'll throw one in off the dribble, but not very often.
And Kiki has hit 3 of 3. He has 6. Starks with a terrific drive. The Knicks are down 45 to 42. Starks has 12 points.
Look at him yapping away at Mark.
Open shot. And again, it's Loy Vaught. He's had the hot hand. 8 points for Vaught. 5-point lead for the Clippers, and they'll get the ball back. Here comes John Williams. Timeout taken by the Knicks.
Not only banging each other, but they're also talking very hard. John Starks moments ago, though, with a spectacular speed drive to the basket, blew by everybody.
Clippers 47, the Knicks 42. 3:15 remaining in this first half. Manning. Knicks have Mason, Ewing, Campbell up front. Rivers and Davis at the guards. The Clippers shooting well here in the second quarter. Mark Jackson has 7 assists. He's second in that department. John Stockton leading the NBA. Ewing is stripped by Hopper.
Second time John Williams has been part of a turnover while guarding Ewing.
And Davis called for the reach-in foul. That's the first committed by Davis, and Ron Hopper to the free throw line. He had 21 points in that overtime win over Detroit here on Tuesday. Ron Hopper making it back from the knee surgery. Came back strong last season. Averaged 18 points after shooting only 39% 2 years ago. He's picked it up.
The guy with great skills, an electric player in the open court. The only question with Ron Hopper, Marv, I would guess, is how bad does he want to excel? It all comes so natural to him. He doesn't really explode on people. He doesn't seem to have the heart that Jordan, I mean, how many people have the heart of Michael Jordan, but with more fire, he could really be an all-star every year with those skills.
You've been getting into people's hearts tonight, huh? Really checking it out, John. Is this a scientific study?
Part of being in L.A., Marv.
I see. 7-point Clipper lead. 2.5 left, first half. Rivers for 3. Air ball. And the Clippers get it back. Now it's Jackson and Hopper in the backcourt. Manning with Vandeweghe and Williams up front. Hopper. And he stepped out of bounds. So the Knicks will take it back.
Marv, the Clippers are having a matchup of John Williams at 6'9" on Patrick Ewing. There is a school of thought that would say, let's feed Patrick Ewing.
Yes, there is. John Williams, one of those rare players who can play, and this is when he came out of LSU, could play effectively all 5 positions on the court, which is unbelievable. He can play point guard and he can play center. Ewing is upset, as you can see.
Jackson was right over the double team, made Patrick give it up, and it didn't go successfully to the next set of hands on the Knicks. Jackson arrives right away. Patrick's looking for the open man. and he petitioned Rivers to move outside so he could get a better shot at him.
Shot clock down to 4. Three-second violation on the Knicks. For the Knicks, their 9th turnover. Clippers with 6. Last season, the Clippers, with a record of 45-37, finished 5th in the Pacific, made the playoffs, and then lost in the first round, knocked off by Utah. Jackson behind the back. Hoffer lost his balance and lost the ball. Here's Ken Norman returning, and he replaces Danny Manning, who's the high man, with 17 on Eat out of 15 from the field.
He averages 17 shots a game this season. He's close to it already.
The Knicks are down by 7 points. Minute 20 to go in the half. Mason bottled up and fouled by Williams.
You see John Williams' particular skills, though, when he's guarding big people down low, when they turn in and face him, his hands are so fast, he gets that hand around the waist of the opponent and deflects that ball as they go up for the shot very effectively.
Now, Pete Vesey, as you know, writing in USA Today, would never have a cruel line. Not anyone. He wrote in his column the other day, Hot Plate Williams, as he has affectionately tagged John Williams, has reduced in weight dramatically, he said, but he's still the only one in the league who can double team by himself. Very nice by Pete Vesey.
Beats a card. But I know Pete, who considers himself a player, ever got around John Williams, he'd stay far away. That would hurt, being guarded by either of the John Williams defenders.
Clippers 49, Knicks 43. As we come up to 1 minute to go in the half. Manning, who is back. Rebound Williams, and he's fouled. So Danny Manning inserted back onto the floor in a hurry and did not hesitate to throw up shot number 16. Doc Rivers called for that foul, and John Williams will go to the line. And Williams, not a good free throw shooter. 63% this season. Now here comes Gary Grant. Mark Jackson departing. Mark has not scored, but has 7 assists.
We're shooting 1.
John Williams is a house still. He's around 300 pounds at 6'9". But loaded with skill.
How about his hard shot? Can you check it?
It's beating fast, Marv.
Ewing. Oh! Rebounded by Norman. Ewing 3 of 9. Once again, the Knicks have not shot well. Hoffer for 3. The Knicks at 42% from the field. 3 on 2. And the Clippers stop the ball. Campbell, that's not what you want to see as the end result of a 3 on 2 break. And the Clippers will hold for a final shot. In fact, they'll talk it over. 22nd timeout taken by Larry Brown with 15 seconds to go in the half. This program is authorized by Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or the use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this event without the express written consent of Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated is prohibited. Billy Crystal, who is a longtime friend of Larry Brown, at courtside, and I know it's very sunny in here for Richard Lewis, a man in search of the meaning of life, John.
Still searching. Your buddy.
Providing advice for Clippers owner Donald Sterling, who is wisely ignoring him.
Giving Richard the proper attention.
10 seconds. Down to 5. knocked away with 1 second remaining in the half. And Manning reports back.
Come on, Danny,
replacing Vanderway. No, they make a change. Williams sits down. Danny was ready to shoot from the scorer's table. And the inbound broken up. Rivers able to get into the path of that pass. So not a good first half for the Knicks. They shoot 41% for the half. Clippers at 50%. 17 for Manning, 10 for Hopper. High man for the Knicks, Starks with 12. Mason with 11. And the Clippers with a 50-43 advantage at the half. We'll be back. 3. The leading scorer summary being brought to you by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. Danny Manning leading the Clippers has not been shy about gunning the shots up. 17 points for Manning, 8 of 16 from the field. Ron Harper with 10, 8 for Vaught. Mark Jackson with 7 assists in the first half, while the Knicks led by John Starks. Starks with 12 points on 4 out of 6. Anthony Mason had the hot hand, 11 points, 5 out of 8 from the field. At one stretch he hit 4 in a row. But John's the same scenario. The Knick offense continues to struggle. 42% from the field and not getting good shots. And when they do get the shots, not able to hit.
They're trying to push inside a lot, Marv. Ewing got 9 shots. He only made 3. Amazing not to see him among the high scorers for the Knicks against this team in particular, who really doesn't have a real defensive center. But they're just not getting the relief from the perimeter, which has been the pattern. And until Rolando gets healthy and the rest of the team gets into a more balanced flow of offense, it's going to be very difficult. But the focus now is so much on their offense that their defense has been too soft on many occasions. They're looking to strike the balance, and it's been very elusive.
Well, let's take a look at some of the highlights from this first half. And they're brought to you by Minolta, creators of the world's most responsive SLR cameras, the new Maxim XI series.
Well, in the opening minutes of the game, John Starks was the hot hand for the Knicks. He had 10 of their first 12 points. Thanks to Doc Rivers' pass and John Starks' speed, he got down to get things going for the Knicks early. Good defense from behind by Greg Anthony, getting that ball loose. And he knows Mason's going to run with him. And Greg Anthony unselfishly gave that ball to Mason, who finished the play off nicely. Vaught got in the action on the boards quickly. Mark Jackson handles that ball, moves it up court. He'll find his teammate of last year, Kiki Vandeweghe, at the end of this play. Mark goes around Patrick Ewing and gets picked up by Campbell, and then he finds Vandeweghe, who hits from the corner. And Mr. I'll take the ball and shoot it as much as I can in the first half, Danny Manning is the recipient once again from Mark Jackson. Jackson stops at the foul line, sizes things up, sees Manning wide open. Manning makes a split-second decision and decides, what the heck, let me pump one up again. And he had the hot hand.
7-point lead for the Clippers. We'll be back with the second half in a moment.
After weeknight Knick and Ranger home games, catch Sports Talk, sports news, and much more live from the play-by-play with Mike Francesa, only on MSG Network. Daniel moves it, intercepted, Gardner shoots, he scores!
Ranger fans, show your true colors. On Monday, November 23rd, when the Rangers take on the Pittsburgh Penguins, the first 1,500 fans wearing New York Rangers apparel will receive a gift from Modell Sporting Goods. That's Monday, November 23rd, during the Rangers versus Penguins game at Madison Square Garden. Look for more Modell Sporting Goods blue shirt nights throughout the season.
Be tough here tonight at Madison Square Garden, though.
And here at the Garden tonight.
Studio here. What's it like in the arena?
The luminaries are illuminating the Garden. The Starks for 3.
I'm reading this stuff and I'm thinking, you know, he's just jerking my chain. He's just saying.
That could lead to a mutiny if you do something like that.
And Carnival, a drive deep. You couldn't ask for a better pitching matchup to open the series. The weather.
Who knows? Could be a factor in David Cohn's decision.
Back to the fence. Wow.
he hit the wall. Head on. Oh, that line's been playing great, and Turco's the main reason.
The left defensemen certainly are keys in this game.
Benencier from Graves. He's onside. He scores! To cover teams like these, it takes a team like this. MSG Network.
The best in the game.
Well, the Knicks have won 12 straight against the Clippers, their longest current win streak against any NBA team. The Knicks last lost to the Clippers back in February of '86 at Madison Square Garden, but the Clippers with a good first half, 50% from the field. Knicks only 20 of 49 for 41%. Knicks have the slight edge off the boards, led by Ewing, who had 10 rebounds. Look at the foul shooting situation.
Knicks not getting to the line enough. Our Toyota matchup, featuring an interesting matchup this evening. Return of Mark Jackson to the Knicks in a sense, and he was matched up against Doc Rivers in the first half. Mark getting his assists. No points, however, for Mark Jackson. And Rivers a couple of field goals.
Doc Rivers with 5 assists in the first half. Clipper ball as we get underway. Third quarter. Harper's pass deflected out. Last touch by the Clippers. The Knicks open up this second half with Rolando Blackman on the floor. So Blackman starting out with Rivers in the backcourt. Campbell up front along with Ewing and Oakley. So here is the first major change by Pat Riley. It's an offensive foul. Von Ewing his first. Now down the road, when Rolando is physically ready, this will be the situation with Blackman on the floor as a starter and Starks coming off the bench.
Well, the numbers are telling Pat Riley, Marv, that can't happen soon enough, and that's why he's playing Blackman now. He's got to bring him along even more with each passing game.
Traveling violation called on Harper. And it's not a question of John Starks not doing it today. Got off to a fast start, 4 out of 6 from the field, and leads the Knicks with 12 points. But the Knicks needing offense are better off with a guy like Starks coming off the bench along with Mason. Here's Campbell. 50-45 the score. The Knicks trailing by 5. Jackson and Harper in the backcourt. Roberts, Vandeweghe, Manning up front. Kiki Vandeweghe making his first start of the season. Manning with a fling. Rebound knocked away from Ewing. Jackson off a steal. Tried a teardrop. That's his favorite shot, but from a very difficult angle. Here's Blackman. Crowd wants to travel. They get it. Lee Jones with the call. The basket will not count. Clippers have led by as many as 7. Early in the game, the Knicks led by 6, but a sloppy start here in the third quarter by the Los Angeles Clippers.
I noticed Blackman, every time down court, this is the third time he's running down to the forward position. He's not bringing the ball up, even though he is playing, by definition, the guard position.
5 straight turnovers by the Clippers. Here's Rivers. Rebound Manning. The Knicks get back effectively. Vandeweghe stopped by Ewing. Sprout looking for the foul. Jackson. Roberts posting up on Blackman. Here's Ewing. And he's hit, hacked by Roberts. And Greg Anthony will come on. That is 4 on Stanley Roberts, and he'll be replaced by John Williams. You know, the Clippers on their roster have 2 of the finest looking offensive linemen in John Williams and Stanley Roberts. They would be indestructible protecting the quarterback.
Roberts played 8 minutes of the first half, had 3 fouls. That is a major problem for him, staying out of foul trouble.
So the Knicks have trimmed it to 4. Like the Knicks, the Clippers have revamped their roster. Only 5 players from last year still here. There are 7 new faces. 50-47 Clippers.
I think the Knicks and the Clippers lead the NBA in that department in radical turnover to the roster.
Vandeweghe. And Oakley able to get to it.
That was impressive how Rolando stayed with Kiki.
Ewing looking to post up on John Williams. Anthony's pass intended for Oakley.
The pick and roll, but Mason doesn't look for the return pass when he sets the pick. I mean, Oakley rather, excuse me.
Foul call.
It's an example of Charles being unselfish to a fault.
Oakley called for his second, and Mark Jackson goes to the line for the first time.
Oakley will set a pick, and Anthony reads that. He drew his man, Oakley's man, out, but then Charles wasn't ready for the return. Didn't roll to the basket.
Mark Jackson, an 84% free throw shooter. His shooting has been off, but he's played well. He has established himself as the leader of this ball club. You know, people here, John, talking about Mark winning a critical jump ball in overtime the other night against Detroit in the victory over the Pistons. He won it against the 7-footer Olden Polynice, and then the Clippers reeled off 8 unanswered points. That helped turn the game in the OT.
Yes, they scored the first 10 points of that overtime, and that did it.
Clippers 51 and the Knicks 47. And Blackman is hit by Harper. Ken Norman will check in. Norman is the usual starter, and he replaces Vandeweghe. Kiki Vandeweghe with 6 points. He's hit 3 out of 4 from the field.
Knicks using the low post bodies of Oakley and Ewing to get the guards free.
Blackman is 0 for 4. The one shot he hit, he was called for a travel. Rejected by Ewing. Second block of the season for Patrick Ewing. Anthony with a look away. Here's Blackman, and he is stopped. Good play by Manning jumping out to come up with the block. And those are the first blocks of the game. Knicks have 17 on the 24. They double up on Ewing. Anthony, yes. 51-49. The Knicks are down by 2. Jackson moves quickly to the front court. Manning. Knicks wanted to travel. And a foul called on the Knicks. Here comes Anthony Mason. Blackman picks up the foul. Hubert Davis also coming on. Davis for Campbell. So Pat Riley is now going with a front line of Ewing, Oakley, and Mason. He has Davis and Anthony at the guards.
Ron Harper, a backcourt man, has a particular skill, and that is rebounding. Much to one's surprise, you wouldn't think a man who plays the backcourt would be the second leading rebounder on your team, and that's exactly what Harper is, and he beat the Knicks front line on that last play, Charles Oakley anyway, to that rebound.
Gary Grant replacing Mark Jackson. Harper and Grant now in the backcourt. Williams, Vaught, and Norman up front. And Lee Jones blowing the whistle because he saw a rolling coin on the floor. Good eyes by Lee.
How many players would do what Ron Harper did? He went after that rolling coin, bent down, picked it up, and handed it to the young man out there. Most guys would let it go. Let somebody else do the work.
53-49.
Marv, as I delve into Harper's head, I find he's a very unselfish, sensitive guy.
You have come up with these interesting assumptions here tonight. Mason with the fake, drew the foul. And Pat Riley, wow, was upset.
Wow.
Yelling at Anthony Mason for taking that shot.
His message was he's wide open, and he was pointing to Greg Anthony or one of the other members of the Knicks. But the point he made was, and that's what he was critical of his team play in Seattle and Portland thus far. Members of the Knicks missing open people. You don't mind guys missing shots, but you mind them missing open teammates.
That was a very strong message that was issued by the coach. You don't see that very often from Pat Riley, but he wanted to make a point, and he did. To us, anyway. I would have thrown to the open man after that. Offensive foul on Grant. The Knicks down by 3 with 4.5 gone by third quarter. Marv Albert, John Andres from the Sports Arena in Los Angeles. Here's Davis. Ewing on the rebound. Patrick Ewing cuts it to a 1-point Clipper lead.
It should be that easy for Patrick. Nobody could block his shot. There's no one tall enough on the Clippers.
Shot clock at 4. Grant. And a loose ball foul call. A push on Oakley. Timeout being called. 6:51 remaining. Third quarter.
Why did Hertz invent #1 club goal service? To beat the rush hour. See, every plane and every body seems to land at once. But with goal service, there's no stopping at the counters and no paperwork. Instead, you go nonstop to your waiting car with your name in lights. Only Hertz has #1 club gold. The best reason yet why Hertz beats the rush hour. To Hertz, the rest of the day is a piece of cake.
Like new blue jeans and old memories, some things were made to fade, but not Dutch boy, not the kid, not on your life, no way, Jose, gonna stick with you right here, year after year. Some things were made to fade away, but not Dutch boy. Ooh, we gotta look that fast. We gotta look that fast.
When you have a powder keg and there's too many sparks around it, the thing's going to explode.
You outraged the nation.
No one as young as you should be so serious.
I wish nothing but freedom and equality for all people.
And started a revolution of respect.
We must work together. We must find a common solution to a common problem.
Denzel Washington and Spike Lee's most powerful film, Malcolm X, rated PG-13, now playing at a theater near you.
Well, Pat Riley just a moment ago upset with Anthony Mason, although he was fouled on his jump shot, upset that Mason was not looking for an open teammate, and he let Anthony know. The Knicks with a 9-3 spurt here in this third quarter, and they are down by only 1 point now. Clippers 53 and the Knicks 52. Holding foul. Ewing outside against John Williams, who is playing center defensively, but on the offensive end, he's operating as a forward.
It's odd that Patrick Ewing would have to grab Williams, who's 300 pounds. Patrick has more speed than that. He doesn't need to grab Williams.
Clippers 0 for the third quarter, and they also have been turning it over. Here's Norman. Rebound Vaughn. Loy Vaughn has hurt the Knicks. Loy Vaughn is in 5 out of 6 from the field. He has 10 points along with 5 rebounds. Vaughn in his third year out of Michigan. First-round draft pick in 1990. Anthony with an open shot. Yes. So Anthony's hit his last 2, and the Knicks trail by 1.
Nice ball movement by the Knicks as a team.
That shot by Vaught broke a string of 8 minutes, 15 seconds in which the Clippers did not have a field goal. That goes back to the second quarter. Knicks off the steal, but Anthony is called for the double dribble. He tried to hold, and then he put it down again.
That was a 4-on-3 favoring the Knicks. Pat Riley encouraging his team, though, to stay up.
Just under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Clippers in possession, and they lead by 1. Danny Manning, Mark Jackson getting set to return, and it's called against the Clippers. Offensive foul, another Clipper turnover. It's on Vaught. That's his first. Now Mark Jackson, Jaren Jackson, and Danny Manning check back in. The Knicks with Anthony and Davis in the backcourt. Ewing, Oakley, and Mason up front. Good look from Davis, and Ewing was fouled. Nice delivery by Hubert Davis.
Patrick with the good instinct to take that ball to the basket. He puts unbelievable pressure on the defense when he takes it to the hoop like this. Nice lead pass.
Foul on Manning, his second. Ewing is 3 for 3 from the line. He has 11 points, and the game is tied at 55. The Knicks lead at 56-55, so they've come from 7 down and have taken over in this third quarter. Open shot for Vaught. Vaught challenging the pass, comes over the top of Ewing. So the Clippers over the limit, and again Ewing to the line. We'll throw some finals at you. The Nets beat Atlanta 108-101. Orlando defeating Golden State 126-102. So the Magic at 5-2, leading the Atlantic Division. Houston beats Cleveland 99-92. Cavaliers at 3-5. Houston off to the good start, 4 up, 2 down. San Antonio walloped Dallas 123-95, and Denver beats Detroit in Denver 99-87.
Cavaliers hurting without Brad Daugherty, who was put on the injured list yesterday.
Vaught not using the pick. Manning, strong move by Manning, and a good lead from Norman. The game is tied at 57.
Ewing rocked Danny Manning just now. He's sick of the physical play he's getting.
Davis is rejected. It will be Nick Ball with 12 on the 24.
Manning is fronting Ewing like crazy. A lot of physical play down low.
Good fake. Ewing trying to draw the foul. No call. 2 Clippers go down and tangle with Oakley, who also hit the floor. Norman is waiting for teammates to move down court. Jackson. Jaren Jackson. Vaught. Wide open shot for Loy Vaught. Clippers lead 59-57.
Chalk an assist up for Danny Manning. He saw the man in better position. He got it to him.
Well, the former L.A. Clipper, Charles Smith, has seen very little action, only 6 minutes in the first half, and he's getting set to check back in. Norman with the rebound. 4 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Anthony tried to draw the foul, did not work. Jackson on the drive. And the Clippers lead by 4. Mark Jackson with a good-looking driving shot. Timeout is taken by the Knicks.
I'm never too concerned that they're unhappy about what we say. If you're going to make that kind of money and play for the teams in New York and you don't produce, we'll be watching.
S&B Manufacturers Warehouse now open to the public. Buy direct. $99 all-wool men's suits. That's right, $99. Comparative values to $350. Entire inventory, 9,000 suits, $99 to $119, none higher. S&B Manufacturers Warehouse is now open to the public. 3 days a week only, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Buy direct. Call 1-800-834-MENS. Off Route 110, 1 block south of Adventureland. Remember, for information, call 1-800-834-MENS for our all-wool $99 suits.
Selling quality was popular before great service was expected from a dealership. Hempstead Toyota was setting the standard for sales and service in the auto dealer industry. Yes, since 1966, 3 generations at Hempstead Toyota have been saving Toyota customers thousands of dollars on their fully stocked line of new cars and trucks, or from their large selection of fully warranted, previously owned vehicles. And now's the time to get great leases and financing at Hempstead Toyota, the solution to luxury for today's economy.
Only the few will hear the cheers at Augusta. Nick Faldo heard them, not once, but twice, to become one of the world's master golfers. Nick Faldo also wears one of the world's most exclusive watches, the Royal Oak from Audemars Piguet. Swiss precision, hand-finished in 18-karat gold and steel. The Royal Oak, worn by only the few.
Pat Riley trying to say the right things and move the right combination of players all night as he continues to learn about his 12 players. Everyone's been getting time. Dutch boy in the paint numbers show the Knicks getting more points in the paint than the Clippers. The Clippers hanging tough with the Knicks with only 2 rebounds away from the Knicks total. That's pretty impressive for a team that doesn't have a Patrick Ewing in the middle. Mark Jackson got into the scoring column. He loved it. He comes down court right by Mason and uses that backboard successfully, as he's learned to do so well.
Four-point lead for the Clippers. And Mason trying to back in was blocked by Norman. Both teams are over the foul limit. Mason to the line. He's 2 out of 4 from the foul line. John Cirillo, the Knicks Vice President of Public Relations, dropping by to tell us that Doc Rivers has a bruised left thigh, but might be able to return. We saw him take that knee from Stanley Roberts earlier. Doc Rivers, who played with the Clippers last season after a solid career with Atlanta, 8 years with the Hawks, 1 season here. 2-point lead for the Clippers. Backdoor attempt by Manning, but good play by Davis to cut it off.
Beautifully played by Davis. Kept control of his man and the man with the ball at the same time.
Here's Davis. Yes. Hubert Davis doing it at both ends with the steal and the basket to tie the game at 61. Here's Vaught. Rare miss for Vaught. Anthony is fouled. Vaught called for his 3rd.
Vaught plays with such fire. Very impressive. And if he should be traded, whoever gets him will be happy. You love a guy who plays with that kind of energy level that Vaught gives out.
Boston Celtics among several teams interested in Loy Vaught.
Anthony with control of that rebound gets clobbered.
Anthony with 5 points. Knicks take a 1-point lead. Knicks 63, Clippers 61. Not only because Loy Vaught has played so well here tonight, and he did against Detroit, but you wonder, why would you want to trade this guy? Well, Larry Brown is one, as Jackson throws the running hook. Larry Brown is one who falls in and out of love with players quickly, like tomorrow and then the next day. And apparently he fell out of love with Loy Vaught recently. Mason called for a travel. Larry Brown ended his 3.5 season association in San Antonio last January, signed on with the Clippers in early February, the day before the All-Star break, and did a terrific job in turning this team around despite a difficult schedule down the stretch. Oh, dangerous pass. Very low percentage by Vaught, and fortunate that the Knicks knocked it out.
First time in the playoffs since the mid-70s with Larry Brown taking over. That brought a lot of pride to this organization that's been desperately in search of pride.
Manning. And the Knicks have a 4-on-3. Davis feeding Ewing. Met on a switch by Jackson.
Patrick gave it up with Mark Jackson behind him.
He probably didn't realize who was guarding him, but Anthony, who has played well here tonight, gives the Knicks a 4-point lead. Darren Jackson changed his mind. Crowd wanted Vaught to shoot. Norman does. The Knicks 65. The Clippers 63 with a minute 35 to go in the third. Shot clock at 5. Anthony. Rebound Smith. Charles Smith getting inside. Extends to a 4-point Knick lead.
Offensive rebounds and conversions is so important.
First field goal for Smith. Here's Norman. So Ken Norman feeling it. Hits his second straight. The Knicks lead 67-65.
Whoever guarding Norman now has to get the message. He gets the ball 18 feet from the hoop. You better be on him. He's hit 2 in a row.
It's been quiet, though. Did not start the game. Larry Brown going with Kiki Vandeweghe against his former team. Anthony, yes. Greg Anthony, 4 of 7. He has 10 points.
For the first time in a while, there's some flow to the Knicks offense now. The exchange between players is looking very comfortable.
Foul on Smith. Of course, it looks even more comfortable when people are hitting their shots.
Absolutely.
But the ball movement is definitely drastically different than what we saw in the first half.
And the recognition between the Knicks players of people who are in better position to shoot than the man with the ball might be.
Vandeweghe back, replacing Manning. Manning with 19 points, but 17 of the 19 in the first half. 36 seconds to go. Third quarter. The Knicks lead by 3. Mark Jackson, 4 points, 7 assists. Vandeweghe jumping out on a switch to help. Here's Smith. Mason on a recovery, and he's fouled. Will it count? It would have. Mason to the line. He was fouled by Williams. 16 seconds left in the third quarter.
Mason and Oakley bothering the Clippers underneath the basket now. Oakley had a role in that play that got that ball loose for Mason. Anthony Mason coming in tonight at a 50% shooting percentage from the field. Certainly a bright spot for the Knicks, and he has shot the ball well tonight here.
15 points for Mason. He's the high man for the Knicks. Tony Campbell returning, replacing Charles Oakley. Charles came out, took the first shot of the game, did not hit, and then took one other and hit it. He's 1 for 2 with 11 rebounds. The Knicks 70, Clippers 66. 10 seconds to go, third quarter. Down to 5. Jackson delivering to Williams. Here's Vandeweghe for 3. Kiki Vandeweghe hits a three-pointer after three. It's the Knicks by one.
Jim, give me a Bud Light.
We're all out.
When it comes to clean, fresh taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, Bud Light delivers.
Imagine being born with the ability to meet any challenge expertly. That's the wonder of the new Maxim XI from Minolta. With the experience of professionals programmed right in, it responds to any change of speed, or light, or distance automatically for ultimate performance. Give a Maxim. Give the best. Only from the mind of Minolta.
Shaving would be simple, and any razor would do, if your face were square. But your face has curves. Presenting the revolutionary Schick Tracer, the only razor with twin blades that flex. Compared to other razors, Schick Tracer puts more of the blade edge against your skin. So, for real faces, like yours, Schick Tracer, we're changing the face of shaving.
This year, find your gift at the place where giving beats everything. For Christmas, as always, nobody beats the whip.
New York Knicks basketball is brought to you in part by the people at Nike, who encourage you to just do it. And by Toyota, reminding you to always buckle up. Do it for those who love you.
Knicks were able to wrestle a lead from the Clippers, but Kiki Vandeweghe's hot hand brought them to within one at the end of three quarters. Kiki Vandeweghe 5 for 11 from the field this season in three-point shooting, and comes in tonight as the 10th best field goal shooter in the NBA. He hit that one. No smile out of Kiki, though. He doesn't roll around with glee when he hits a shot, but his teammates were real happy.
Kiki Vandeweghe has been a contributor tonight. 9 points for Kiki. Fourth quarter underway. Knicks 70. And the Clippers 69. Knicks outscore the Clippers 27-19 in the third. Here's Davis. Well, you get the idea that Hubert feels that he now has 6 points. He's hit his last two. 72-69. The Knicks by 3. They trailed most of the way, down by as many as 7. Harper with the step. And Davis with the block. Oh, what a recovery by Davis. But a foul has been called on Hubert.
When Ron Harper gets those long strides going, he's very difficult to stay with, but Davis does. Harper at 6'6" could not escape Hubert.
Harper a 76% free throw shooter. This game tied at the end of one. Clippers by 7 at the half. And the Knicks taking advantage of the many Clipper turnovers in the early portion of that third quarter. And the 4 Clipper shooting, they went 0 for the first 6. In fact, going back to the second quarter, they went shade over 8 minutes without a field goal. 72-70 Knicks. Opening minute, fourth quarter. Marv Albert with John Andres from the Sports Arena in Los Angeles. Traveling violation on Smith. Crowd has turned on Charles Smith. He has not gotten the time, played only 6 minutes in the first half, and was inserted at the end of the third quarter.
That's very understandable, though, because Charles Smith announced to the fans here last year he didn't want to be in Los Angeles, and he was leaving at the end of this season unless they did something with him.
I think he wouldn't mind being in Los Angeles, but maybe the other club in L.A. I think it was more a personal thing with the Clipper franchise. Here's Anthony. So the Clippers in possession, trailing by 2 points. play by Mason. Nice lead. Vanderway did not hit. Norman battling for it. Terrific hustle by Ken Norman.
Everett won that battle. Norman had more than the Knicks did.
Game is tied at 72. 2 minutes gone by in the fourth. Smith followed up by Williams. It will be Nick Ball. Rolando Blackman is back, replacing Hubert Davis. Leads with 6 points, 3 of 7 from the field.
Williams is successfully muscling Charles Smith, making him go out further and further.
Campbell, that's a charge. Tony Campbell called for his second. The Clippers with a backcourt of Hoffer and Mark Jackson, Williams, Norman, and Vanderway up front. Game is tied at 72. Jackson with the teardrop.
Bob, I must say, Greg Anthony played him so well. What a move by Jackson.
And then a bad pass by Anthony. Mark Jackson with 6 points, along with the 7 assists. That's his favorite shot. Comes right out of the New York City playground, what he calls the teardrop. A running one-hander. Hopper was feeling around for Blackman. Jackson for 3. Mark Jackson enjoying the moment. Doing it in the direction of Patrick Ewing, who just shook his head.
He couldn't stand it. He gave a look like, get out of here, Mark. I can't take this. And Mark was looking at the Knicks bench after he makes that jump shot. But prior to the jumper, he had the teardrop working nicely. And the long shot, the three-point shot, made him jump for joy. And he looks at that Knicks bench and particularly has a message for Patrick Ewing, who's smiling, believe it or not, after that, but turned away from Mark.
But you're right. The feeling was, get the heck out of here.
Get out of my face.
8-0 run by the Clippers, sparked by the former Knick, Mark Jackson. And the Clippers recapture the lead, 77-72. Jackson hitting on the drive and then hitting a three-pointer for the 5-point margin. Here's Ewing. Mason getting away with a foul as he held Jackson, no question. And nothing was called. There's Mark arguing with Lee Jones. Larry Brown upset. Well, the Knicks got a call right there, and they will throw in. Blackman. Mason saving for Campbell. Ewing over Manning, and the Knicks are in the midst of a drought. Jackson calling for time. Fiery play by Mark Jackson as Mason went for the steal, and the Clippers were able to get the timeout call. 8:43 to go in the fourth quarter.
It's here. Cadillac in White Plains. Where, you ask? Key Ford now offers the whole Cadillac line, like the Seville and Eldorado, at unbelievable prices. Now you can own a Cadillac that's backed by our reputation for reliability, a reputation that earns us the right to offer you Cadillac roadside service. Now, Key Cadillac of White Plains at 80 Westchester Avenue. Don't miss out.
Hey, Warren, where do the stars come out on Sunday nights? In your face. 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 In your face.
ESPN Sunday Night NFL. It's where you'll really see a galaxy of action.
When the stars come out,
ESPN is
In your face.
Sunday night NFL. Look what we've done with Toyota.
Just look to Toyota for savings on new 93 trucks.
Look what we've done for you now.
I can get savings on a new 93 4Runner. Look to new incentives on 4x2s, and the smiles tell you this is a month to save.
Hey, I saved on a 93 Toyota 4x4.
And no payments until next year. Buy or lease, but don't wait. The savings to make you smile are at your Toyota dealer now.
Look what we've done for you now.
Well, Mark Jackson is taking over the offense for the Clippers now, and things are happening in their favor. Mark, under tremendous pressure from Anthony Mason, succeeds in getting the word to the official he wants a timeout rather than risking being tied up in a jump ball situation that he would lose undoubtedly with Mason.
Clippers with a 5-point lead, 8.5 to go in this fourth quarter. And Jake O'Donnell makes the call. Tom Blackman hooking Harper from behind. Clippers have had the edge off the board. So after the fourth, third quarter, Clippers have turned it around. Harper again looking to post up. And that's a traveling violation.
Rolando Blackman guarding Harper, and any move like that where he can contain a guy as tough as Harper has got to give him a lift. Rolando is searching for ups in his game now.
Did show some flashes Tuesday night of the loss in Seattle, but has not been able to locate the touch here tonight, although he looks to be moving better. Shot clock at 7. Good defense by the Clippers. Mason and Vandeweghe with the rebound. Harper from Jackson.
That was a great pass because it demanded that Harper follow the ball, and it took him right to the basket.
And John, the pass off the dribble, which is difficult to do, and he was right on target. 79-72. Clippers matching their biggest lead. Blackman will go to the line.
Boy, Danny Manning was working so hard on Ewing, not allowing him to be a target to the Knicks passes. Vandeweghe on that rebound to Jackson, who spots Harper and gets it to him perfectly.
Jackson called for the foul, picking up his second. Blackman 0 for 6 from the field, and that his first point of the game. Once again, the Knicks have not shot well at 40%. Ewing 4 of 13. Rivers 2 of 7. Anthony and Jackson with an exchange at the line. Unsportsmanlike against Anthony. Flashing an elbow. Greg Anthony called for the foul. Unsportsmanlike. Made a move in the direction of Jake O'Donnell, who said, stay away. It's a technical foul. Here's a look at it.
Anthony on the left now. Clippers ganging up on him so that he would not come in and rebound. And he responded with the elbow.
Vandeweghe hit the technical. 7-point Clipper lead. Remaining in this fourth quarter. Jackson on the return pass from Manning. Mark Jackson has taken command in the fourth quarter against his former team. He has 11 points. Biggest lead of the night for the Clippers. Davis. Loose ball foul against the Knicks.
Last time down court, Mark Jackson playing give and go. Gets inside of the Knicks defense. No problem for Mark Jackson. He's been offensive here in the second half.
A 13-1 Clipper run. Knicks only 1 of 7 from the field in this fourth quarter. Knicks try to prevent a sweep of the road trip. Ewing with the block, his second of the game. Manning landing in the choice seats.
And it gave up Patrick Ewing an opportunity to be verbal in Mark's direction, and Mark is smiling away.
Check that Kenny Norman landed in the crowd.
Well, Ewing said he'd get Mark tonight, and he did with that shot block. And they kept talking after that play. Mark actually enjoyed it because he knows his team, led by him, is in command.
22nd timeout has been called with 6:45 to go in this fourth quarter. When we resume, 6 remaining on the shot clock. Mark Jackson certainly getting the minutes this season. The #1 draft pick for the LA Clippers. Actually a 3 first-round selections. 16th pick overall. Randy Woods out of LaSalle has rarely played. He was an off guard at LaSalle. There was the thought he could play point, but that has not been the case. So it's been a situation where we've seen, for the most part, Mark Jackson, some of Gary Grant, and Jaren Jackson has been getting playing time.
Big difference of opinion in Laker camp about their #1 draft pick, and a lot of people have questioned it big time.
Harper beating the 24. It's now a 15-1 run by the Clippers. They lead 84-73. Knicks have won the last 12 games against the Clippers. The last loss, February of '86 at the Garden. Davis. Mason able to get to it. Crowd looking for a travel on Mason. Knicks have won 6 straight here against the Clippers.
Lovely pass from Greg Anthony to Ewing.
Last time the Knicks were beaten at the Sports Arena was November of '85. 9-point LA Clipper lead. Intended for Manning on a pick and roll. It's quite clear that this has become Mark Jackson's ball club. He is directing it. He's taken over command here in this fourth quarter. Did not force the issue early. That's a foul picked up by Manning. Mark Jackson made one of the unbelievable turnarounds last season for the Knicks. I think also changed his attitude a bit under Pat Riley, but he was gone 2 years ago, having the problems we touched on earlier with Stu Jackson and John McLeod, Al Bianchi. Ewing way off from the field. He's 5 of 15. Foul is charged to the Clippers. It's on Norman.
I would think, Marv, looking at Patrick Ewing's frustration after many of his missed shots, that he feels a personal war also with Mark Jackson in this game. And he's not happy.
5:15 remaining, fourth quarter. Manning stripping Anthony. Here's Manning. Pat Riley wanted a charge, did not get it. Harper able to follow up. And it's Tony Campbell. '86-77. Clippers with the lead. Able to penetrate. He has 21 points.
Pick and roll, give and go, call it what you will, but Jackson to Manning was beautiful basketball.
Mark Jackson with 9 of his 11 points here in the fourth quarter. Danny Manning, high man for the Clippers with 21. Mason with the step, and he's fouled by Manning.
Last hoop by the Clippers. Manning comes over, sets the pick, rolls to the basket. The rear Knick defense comes over too slowly. Manning is already out of control by that time.
So Mason to the line. 5 of 8 from the free throw line. Oakley making his return. So it's a front line of Oakley, Ewing, and Mason. Down to 4:20 remaining in this fourth quarter. 88-78. Clippers lead by 10. John Starks has not seen action at all in the second half. Ewing over comes up with his third block of the game. Starks in the first quarter was on fire. He had 12 points in the half. Oakley in a collision with Anthony. Oh, a hard foul, a luck foul by Anthony. And Hoffer is down.
That's got flagrant written all over it.
It is a flagrant. So Greg Anthony, who moments ago was called for unsportsmanlike for flashing the elbow, is now called on a flagrant.
You got to play the ball. If you go for the body, it becomes flagrant.
And Mark Jackson came over to the Knicks bench and got involved with a couple of Knicks players.
Mark did a flashback.
Larry Brown walks over, and Mark is telling Larry Brown that he's okay. He settled down.
It looked like Mark went over and got into very personal conversation with members of the Knicks bench. And he's succeeding Mark in inciting this place and doing the things he learned not to do at Madison Square Garden.
And Hoffer hits the first of two on the flagrant. One report we received was that Charles Smith, whether playfully or not, tossed some water in the direction of Mark Jackson. They had some words. Well, the second meeting between these two clubs at the Garden, January 2nd, should be intriguing. Just under 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. The Knicks have been severely outplayed once again in what has been just an awful road trip. Hoffer rebounded by Oakley. The Knicks facing an 0 for 3 on the West Coast trip. In game one in Portland, of course, playing a very tough team. Hubert Davis able to hit. Understandably, the Knicks lose to the Trailblazers, but Pat Riley was upset. He made it clear that the Knicks played soft without intensity. Tuesday, they lose to the Seattle Supersonics by 10. Here's Anthony with a steal. Anthony for Davis. Mark Jackson on the floor trying to defend. It's down to an 8-point Clipper lead.
Well, Anthony knocked him down on that drive. But Bob, the Knicks' problems are simply scoring now. I mean, that's the main thing. They haven't hit 100 points yet in a game on this trip.
And they're shooting 41% tonight. Their first 7 games, the Knicks failing to reach 100 points on 5 occasions. Jackson with the dish off, and Williams is hit by Oakley. It's a hard foul by Oakley, and the Knicks to me look like a very frustrated ball club. And Oakley with the jarring foul, and believe it or not, he did jar the 300 John Williams. Timeout call, 2:46 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Messier with the intercept and a quick shot, he scores! Beautiful play!
Nobody beats Long Island Diamond prices. My dad got my mom's ring here.
Long Island Diamond saves you a lot of money.
We got the diamond we wanted at the price we wanted.
Long Island Diamond has a world-class selection of all sizes, shapes, and price ranges.
Enter the future of home electronics by Panasonic and Techniques.
From new super flat tube televisions, super VHS VCRs, portable audio, camcorders with electronic image stabilization, to powerful Techniques audio components, Panasonic office machines, and cellular phones. For the latest in home electronics, get the PC advantage. At PC Richard & Son, the electronics giant.
2:46 to go. The Knicks trailing 90-82. Well, game tickets are still available for the first half of the season at the Garden box office and all Ticketmaster locations.
Trying to get to the bottom of the throwing the water story. Now we're told it was John Starks who flipped the water in the direction of Mark Jackson. There will be a league investigation, John.
Well,
meanwhile, John Starks has been benched in the second half. We just checked if there's anything physically wrong with him. Doc Rivers has the thigh bruise, so he's sitting out.
I really think that Pat Riley is embarrassed by a play like that from John Starks. That's not the kind of thing that Pat Riley would like to see his team do, particularly when they're getting whipped.
But the benching has nothing to do with that.
Just behavior.
91-82. Clippers with the lead. 2:46 remaining in the fourth quarter. It has been a storybook night to this point for the former Knick Mark Jackson. 11 points, 9 assists, provided the spark, helped turn the game around in the fourth quarter. Had the 5 unanswered points, a teardrop, and then the three-point play. Oh, a hard foul ushered by Williams on Anthony. And Oakley and Williams looking to go. Mason grabs Williams from behind. Mason pointing fingers. Mason trying to get away from Norman. Hey, it's perfectly understandable what the Clippers did. I mean, Greg Anthony is out there throwing his body around, and there's got to be payback. You can't accept that.
Well, getting back to the point of frustration that you mentioned moments ago, this demonstrates it quite clearly. But Marv, what preceded, I couldn't see exactly the play that knocked Anthony down. I knew he was fouled. But why does Charles Oakley, as he often does, stick his hand in the chest of another player after the whistle and push him?
Well, I think
where does that go?
That was a reaction to...
it happens all the time.
But that's a reaction coming to the protection, I think, of Anthony. But I could certainly understand the Clipper reaction on Anthony, who was hit with an unsportsmanlike earlier, and then was hit with that flagrant foul on Hoffer. Here's another look at it.
Williams with a message to Greg Anthony after that.
Double technical on Oakley and Williams, so that nullifies. Look out, Manning was actually bumped by Oakley, and Charles realized that's not a nice move, and then he tried to brace the fall. This is really getting ugly.
Well, everyone's smiling.
Yeah, but guys are smiling, but that's to try and cool things down. 2.5 remaining in what has developed into a wild one at the Sports Arena in Los Angeles. 10-point Clipper. Manning is dumped. Foul on Ewing. So Manning to the line.
Well, you said frustration a few minutes ago. It's continued. Take a look now at the middle. Ewing knocking Manning down big time.
22 points for Danny Manning. The Clippers gunning to tie their record at 4 up and 4 down. The Knicks, with the loss here, will drop to 4 and 4. Clippers lead 94-82.
Jackson smiling big as he backs up, looking at the Knicks bench. Meanwhile, Marv, he hasn't been beaten off the dribble tonight.
Mason off a double team. Oakley strip. And the foul call on the Clippers with 2 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Manning picks up his 5th. A couple of guys from Ohio. Ron Harper and Charles Oakley talking it over. Charles grew up in Cleveland. He and Harper have been friends over the years. Ron attended Miami of Ohio. And the Knicks down by 11. A 15-1 spurt by the Clippers, turning it around in this fourth quarter. Once again, horrendous Knicks shooting at 40% for the game. That's about what they've been shooting all season. Williams snaps it down. It's a 2-on-1. And hits home. Manning with the tip. Clippers lead 96-84. It is a celebration here at the Sports Arena as the Knicks take a timeout.
I had a Honda Civic for 4 years. I put an ad in the paper to sell it. Phone starts ringing immediately. Guy comes over to look at the car. He's ready to buy it.
Ewing with the jump hook. It's been a very quiet night for Patrick Ewing. Only 6 of 16 from the field, 17 points. 10-point lead for the Clippers. They'd like to nurse the clock a bit with a minute and a half to go. And a foul on Anthony. That's 4 on Anthony. Knicks over the limit, so Jackson to the line. He is 2 out of 4 from the free throw line.
Mark performing as usual before his family, who made the trip out here, his mother, dad, and brother. And I would say they're one happy family right now.
Mark Jackson came a long way last season on and off the court. Shot a career high 49%. You hear me? 12-point lead for the Clippers. Minute 20 remaining in the game. Anthony hits a 3. Going glass. 98-89. And a pushing foul on Davis. Greg Anthony with 13 points tonight. High man of the game. Manning with 25. Harper 21. Jackson with 13. Vaught with 12. John, aside from the continued shooting problems of the Knicks and the fact that this is still a ball club out of sync, what will come out of tonight, along with the humiliation of losing to Mark Jackson, Kiki Vandeweghe and company, and they certainly have been affected by it. You can see what's taking place on the court, but what will also come out of this, the benching of John Starks for the entire second half. That will be discussed. We'll be back in a moment.
It was a quiet night under a full moon when suddenly... What's that?